Imagine spending 15 years to become a spine surgeon, and when you get to the finish line, when all your dreams, all your goals have been achieved, and you realize that that is no longer the life that you want, that is slowly draining the life out of you, and you decide to step away, but then the internet loses their mind. A lot of people are saying that he wasted 15 years. Some people are calling him dumb. And some people are saying that he should have just stuck it out. But as a nurse, here's the thing. Unless you have worked in healthcare in our shoes, you would not understand the toll that this profession takes on you mentally, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and even spiritually. So, with that being said, these are my takes about Dr. Iggy's decision to step away from medicine. Locking with me. The first point that I want to make is that people think that the end result equals happiness. The way that the world is set up, it teaches us that once somebody has gotten to a certain title, certain position, be it a doctor, a lawyer, accountant, they just assume that you've made it. But nobody ever stops to talk about, okay, so what happens if that title that you hold no longer aligns with what you want out of life? Simply because something took 15 years, even 20 years to attain, that doesn't mean you should spend the next 30 years to suffer through it. I think one should be able to change direction slightly or completely, like Dr. Iggy did. He said he's stepping away from medicine to pursue content creator full time. If that is what is going to bring him happiness, why not let him go find his happiness? The second point that I want to make is that healthcare is exhausting in ways that outsiders do not understand. You're literally responsible for people's life every single day in, day out. The moment you clock in, somebody's life is literally in your hands. One mistake could end in someone losing their life, or multiple people losing their lives, or you ending up in jail. That is a lot of pressure to be carrying on for 12 hours straight every single time you go to work. The emotional weight, the stress is not a regular stress. Working in this field as a nurse for the past 7 years, I have seen firsthand how healthcare can affect people's mental health. The next point that I want to make is that time invested does not equate obligation to stay forever. Because people under his comment section saying that he wasted 15 years, that is education. You guys do realize that education never goes to waste. It's never a waste to be educated. Just because he's not practicing currently, that does not mean that he's gonna lose all the knowledge that he has acquired over the years. Those knowledge, the skills, they are still with him. So it's never a waste, in my opinion. He still has the discipline, he still has the credibility, and guess what? He can decide tomorrow to go back. So it's never a waste. The fourth point that I want to make is that people will love to tell you how to live your life. Whole time they wouldn't survive the job themselves. Because if you look under his comment section, one thing that I noticed, the pattern that I noticed is that the loudest critics under his comment section, all of these were non-healthcare workers. And no share to them, he put it in the internet so anybody and everybody can have an opinion about it. But the loudest ones were the ones that have never stepped foot in the hospital. And don't get me wrong, no share to them, but a lot of them could not handle or survive a 12-hour shift in the hospital. Everybody is always going to have an opinion when it's not their life. And the next point that I want to make, which I thought it was funny, because if you saw how many people were coming after this man, you would think they paid for his tuition. Nobody gave this man a dime to pay for medical school, residency, fellowship, even for his pre-med, because he did 4 years of pre-med before even going into medical school. But if you see the way they are dragging him, you will straight up think these people paid his way through medical school. So Again, unless you paid for his tuition, you're the one taking those overnight calls, being on calls, sacrificing holidays, risking lawsuits, managing complications. Respectfully, it is not your decision to make. And the next point is that burnout is real. Burnout in healthcare is so real, even for high earners like surgeons. In his case, a spinal surgeon. They are one of the highest paid in the field. I'm not even gonna lie about that part. The truth is that money does not equate fulfillment. There are a lot of people that make a lot of money, yet they are miserable. And people are mad because he said he was, going into content creation full time. There are content creators out there who are making life-changing money, money that doctors could never dream of having. I get, as a content creator myself, I get that the content market can be very labile or very fragile. It's not steady. But for you to get to that point where you can make steady, serious money, you gotta start from somewhere. And in his case, he's not starting from zero. Dude has a significant following already across all platforms. He's on TikTok, he's on Instagram, and he's on YouTube with, pretty solid following. So it's not like dude just said, oh, forget medicine, I'm gonna start today from zero follower. That is not the case. People assume that just because you're making good money, that even when you're suffering, that you should just stick to it. But that is not always the case, because your mental peace, it matters a lot. It matters more than money sometimes. And the last point that I want to make is that we only live once. YOLO. We only get one life. And at the end of the day, it is his life. It's his decision. Let him pursue his happiness. That is the good thing with free will, is you can choose to do whatever you want. And we are in the land of the free. We're in America. So the good thing with being in this country is, if you can dream it and you're willing to work for it, you can attain it. So if he sees himself being a successful content creator, by all means, I wish him nothing but the best. It's his life. Success is not one size fits all. What success means to one person can be completely different from what success means to me. And in his case, he said content creation is what is going to make him happy. Hey, buddy, I wish you the best, Dr. Iggy. Do not listen to anybody. It's not their life. If someone can work hard enough to become a spine surgeon, trust me, they are not lazy. If they decide to pivot into a different direction, there is a reason for that. So, instead of criticizing, why don't we start asking that why are healthcare workers leaving the profession in massive volume? Because he's not the first person to do it, and he's not going to be the last to do it. But you'll let that man live. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. And if you stayed this far, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss my videos. Until next time, guys.